Hi Kiwi, alright, we are back with more Celeste, and I'm gonna be figuring out this room, because it appears there's a lot to figure out. I'm not quite sure where it wants me to go with this. I don't actually know what the purpose of the flower is, or the feather is. Why don't I just fall through here and see where it takes us? So it looks like there's an area down and to the right that I have to aim for. I'm not sure what the purpose of the feather is to get there. Okay. Like, why did that feather exist? It feels like this is a new section, and since I'm starting here with the top binoculars, usually that warrants a checkpoint. Well, I bet there was like a secret that I missed, but that's honestly for the best. I'm not secret hunting, I'm just trying to beat this game. Oh, but how do I get to that platform there? This may not be as easy as I think it is, but hold on. No, I can't. Okay. So clearly the intent is I get to that wall and then fall down, and how do you... Oh, I bet that falls. Oh, am I gonna have to platform off of that as it falls? Oh, that's gross. I don't like that. These rooms are definitely getting progressively more difficult. This is truly, at the very minimum, a B-side in difficulty, probably more. Now, do we start back up top? We do start back up top. Let me check out this feather one more time. Or not. Right. Maybe... I feel like I might need those platforms to fall, so let me see what happens if I get this feather and knock into that platform with it, and then travel down the hole like intended. I don't know, I feel like that second platform may be necessary to the puzzle. So let's try this. Yeah, there we go. When that platform lands on the little nubbin that's down there, I can then do a hyper dash off of it, or a wave dash rather. Oops. Anyway, while we're actually solving this puzzle and this challenge, let's talk a bit more about my post-production process. So I guess I'll just go through the actual process. After the video is recorded and I hit stop record, what do? The first thing I do is I make sure that I rename any files that I have recorded for the recording session, because depending on the day, there can be a lot of files, or depending on my laziness, if I don't name them all, they get buried very quickly, and it's best if I have them labeled so I can edit them more reliably. After that, the next issue is... Okay, I need... bear with me, I need to figure this out. So I definitely want a wave dash here, so let's try and get that. There we go, now I have my dash. Oh, that falls. Okay. Probably didn't need to... Oh, okay, we're fine. We can do this. Oh, need to hit the spring there to get my dash back and to clear that jump. Gotcha. Alright. Anyway, so I rename everything, and usually what I just do is I name the name of the game plus the number in the series, and I usually do in all caps the word raw, so that I know it's the unedited footage. And I don't think about titles or captions or anything like that until way later. Basically, once they're uploaded to YouTube, frankly. 1 second, I'm going to need my brain for this. And I want to be a little too early on that spring. Okay. And so once everything's renamed, then I upload any relevant clips or segments for that day's episode into DaVinci Resolve. And one of the things I've learned to use as a trick is to figure out where I want to cut. I either make I always try to transition mid-level sections of the game by dying. That way I can do the little fancy trick I showed earlier, where when it fades to black, I cut the scene and splice it into the next one. The way I recognize when that should be necessary is if I go silent and I look at the... I've separated my audio into game audio and voice and my microphone's recordings so that I can easily clip each without having them linked to the other. And I learned very quickly early on in the video production process that if I have both linked to each other, it makes it much harder to have the video edited without the music making it sound really clunky. To say, for lack of a better description, you can the cuts in audio were noticeable, and I did not enjoy their presence. So I very quickly realized, oh, let's separate audio. Let's separate game audio from microphone audio. And that's worked quite well, although it has made it so Windows Media Player, where the videos are most easily accessed outside of DaVinci Resolve, only chooses to play one of those two audios, which makes it very hard to proofread or check what a video is without loading it into DaVinci Resolve first. I haven't really tried to find a workaround for that, but it is a minor inconvenience, but it's only as inconvenient as clicking and dragging a video file into a program, so I can deal with it for now. That's why I haven't really gone out of my way to fix it. There we go. Oh, I probably need to fall faster. Yeah, I needed it to fall faster there. I think they just put the 2 dash gems there in case you miss one. But I think we've gotten to the bottom of this room's problem. Just takes a little bit more... Wait, I didn't mean to do that. Well... There we go. Oh, we're flying with the bird. That's so cool. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, here we go. I can salvage it. Alright, I'm gonna get it this time. Remember, I can skip this and just get every other. Or okay, Jeff. Okay, Jeff. We're going fancy here. Ah. Alright, this looks like we're reaching something new. Ooh, look at all these little platforms. Okay. This definitely feels like something new is about to happen. Here we go. What was that? Something just like warped in and out. Is there anything in here, out of curiosity? It feels like there might be something up there. Wonder if you could have, like, feathered all... Feather probably wouldn't have lasted long enough, but maybe you can feather up there. I don't know, it feels like this there have been a couple instances where this area, this level, has felt like there have been secrets that I'm missing out on. Anyway, the intent here is clear. Wave dash. Feather platforming I've felt good about so far. Oh no. Okay. Just needed my dash a little bit more than that. Just not quite enough distance. I'll try and land on that jump reset gem a little higher next time. I definitely can take the diagonal there if I'm a little bit further away. Or I just go horizontal, which is the correct path. Yeah, I definitely need to try... Maybe you know what, I'll dash out of the feather this time, and that'll get me a bit of a higher start. There we go, that should work. Oh, I wasted my... Did I use my dash too quickly, maybe? Alright, we've got this, though. This room feels very doable compared to the... Not even the last one. The last one felt really doable, too. I just... it took me a little bit longer than it should have, I feel. Anyway, more on the production process in the meantime. Where to start? So, I get the files loaded in, and I use the waveforms to figure out which sections I know for a fact are going to be cut out. And that's kind of where I start. I have the sections I know need to be cut out settled on, so then I work on cutting those. And there's a trimming tool in DaVinci Resolve that cuts the footage, and then I just splice the ends together where it's appropriate. And again, generally my strategy is, where possible, I use the death screen transition to... Oops. I got distracted by dialogue and didn't think about where I needed to be for that. So I use the death transition screen as effectively a video transition screen, almost. It seems like for this to work, what I need to do is space out the dashes slightly, because if I dash too early, I actually don't travel enough distance, it seems, or get enough height. I'll inevitably lose height if I don't start high enough. But let's see let's see where this takes us. There we go. If I had held that dash slightly longer, I would have been fine. Alright, we've got this room. We've got this room in the bag. So I trim the footage, I splice the bits together that look like they need to be connected. And then I also add in, I've started, I didn't used to do this, but I started adding a audio transition as well that makes the one audio kind of blend into the next more seamlessly. So it sounds like the music's almost repeating its loop rather than getting cut off entirely and then starting at a new section or a new song altogether. And it definitely makes the death transition sound a lot smoother. Now, if you're ever wanting to know if I've skipped a section, that's part of the reason I kept the speedrun timer in the upper left corner. One, I use it personally to help keep track of where certain things I want to either cut if I say something silly or I just ramble the wrong way. Or more commonly, something happens in the background that I just don't think would add any benefit to being in the video or actively detracts from the quality of the video. Now I have a timestamp effectively that I can mentally remember and then jot down after the episode ends. Or if I'm in a transition zone, or if I'm in a section I know I'm going to be cutting, I can just pause and write it down to make sure I don't forget. I'm sure there are sections where I have openings that I meant to cut where I'm just bumbling about or say, "Hi, Kiwi," "Hi, Kiwi," like 2 or 3 times in a row. I'm hopeful I haven't missed any, but it's the law of averages, and it's the law of negligence and inexperience that's going to happen at least once, if not multiple times. There we go. Okay, down we go. Oh, more hype. Wait a second. Oh, okay, for a brief moment, I thought I was going to have to demo dash, which I have never done. Demo dashing is using a hyper dash while crouched and staying crouched in the jump, which used to take a very, very, what's the word? Very tight timing, very mechanically intensive technique, and now they've made it so it's just a button press. Where is it? Crouch dash. It's called Demo Dash because I believe the speedrunner who discovered the technique was named Demo. But regardless, it looks extremely difficult to pull off under normal circumstances, and while there is a button press for it now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be using it. But I see what we're going for. I need to momentum jump here. I need to keep those walls spaced out, so I have to dash a lot here. So 1, 2 dash. That, and then I can dash downwards to keep it low. Alright, let's see. Anyway, while I figure this stage out, continuing on the dialogue. Just thinking for a moment to see what I need to do. There we go. I can buy a lot of time with this. I jumped too high, but I almost had it. As far as the next step goes, once I've spliced the sections together that I want, I check to make sure that the transitions all match, and then it's usually audio balancing, plus or minus adding in voice lines if I feel that there's a section that really could have benefited from more dialogue. I haven't really done that very much with Celeste, but I've been thinking about doing it for those sections where I've been grinding out an area for so long that I just go silent, and then I'm desperately trying to get to the end, and so there's no dialogue, and then I notice I'm about to beat it, and then I start talking. But there's often a noticeable gap in any dialogue until I reach that point. I think the 7C and the core were probably where this was the most noticeable recently, mostly because they're fresh in my head. I can think of them as examples. But the point being is sometimes I question if I should edit in some dialogue there. My goal is to never have more than maybe 15 to 20 seconds of silence, because anyone can watch a Celeste playthrough, and there are better Celeste playthroughs out there than mine. If you're here watching me, it's from watching my videos, it's because you like my personality, or you like my voice, or you like what I have to say, and if I'm not using those things that you're here for, then again, it's not the point of the video almost. So again, I'm trying to avoid stretches of silence, but I think in part I was just so burnt out on those sections I had nothing of value to say other than, oh, make this end, please make this end. But that's really the core of it, the bulk of what the editing process is like for the most part. The only other bit is, again, the audio balancing, which I went into a bit of detail earlier. primarily, there's something called the Fairlight tab in DaVinci Resolve, and like I said before, what I'll do is I set it so nothing peaks above 5 decibels, and then on top of that I add in a compressor, so if things are really loud, they can be made more quiet, so that I can also make the quieter bits a bit louder and more audible. My current mic setup, I've noticed that I should probably honestly turn my gain up, but because I've been doing some voice acting, especially with the Space for the Unbound, but also a special project that I'm not going to say anything about until it's finished because it's too funny to me, and I don't want to ruin the surprise for anyone who doesn't see it coming. Kiwi has absolutely seen me working on this voice acting bit that I'm describing, so she is very, very painfully aware of what is to come. But it's... for anyone else out there who is interested in what I'm alluding to, I'm hopeful that it'll be something I upload in either May or June. Really, my plan for the channel going forward is if I'm able to get ahead on enough videos. My work really starts to pick up in June and a bit in May. So I will have a significant reduction in the amount of time I have available to make videos. And my hope is that I'm ahead by about 2 months so that I have the room not only to have a buffer for those 2 months of work, but also if I want to do more of a passion project, like a different project that requires more editing, more time, I can commit to that and do it. And that's what this little voice acting bit is. It's going to be my first time ever, like, really, not just... with Space for the Unbound, every take is a blind read, which I've proven to myself at this point that blind reading isn't necessarily my forte when it comes to... I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. Blind reading isn't necessarily my forte when it comes to... Oh, I need to use the momentum. I bet I need to use the momentum off of these resetting. That's what it must be. Anyway, I've proven to myself, and likely the audience, that blind reading voice lines in character is not easy, and I'm still not great at maintaining voices that aren't what I'd call staple voices, which at this point are going to be the Tristan voice, the nasally this voice, the robot voice, which is "Hello, how are you?" or the deeper version of that "Hello, how are you?" And then the Eric voice has somehow become a staple now, the chain smoker kind of voice, and finally the cat voice that I've chosen for some reason, which is like, "Hello, Lord Frieza, how are you today?" Something like that, which is, yes, based on Zarbon from Dragon Ball Z, particularly Dragon Ball Z Abridged, because that voice inevitably turns into something that I wish it didn't, but we'll save that for what's to come, if you will. Anyway, the point being is those are kind of my staple voices. They are voices that I can easily get into and easily maintain, but A Space for the Unbound has been a huge project in experimentation and me testing the limits of my voice and learning what else can I do with it, which has been absolutely fun, but exhausting, and because it's an experiment with a blind read, there are going to be some duds. There are going to be consistently some duds, but the fun has absolutely been there. Yep, there we go. That's all I needed to do. I needed to carry the momentum there. Alright, let's check out what this next room is. So, looks like a spring that when activated will travel up with me, so I need to likely dash into that, get bounced back here, then jump and dash into that, and then dash into the spring as it's traveling through that right section, go up. This is inevitably a momentum dash, so bounce off of it, hit the spring again? No, I'll have to beat the spring and either land on its top or hit its right side to then get shot to the right, dash upwards, dash to the right, dash to the left twice, dash to the left twice, and then hit this gem, spring, and somehow get to that spring. Oh my goodness, this is definitely going to be a more challenging room. I don't know if we're up to the seaside, but it feels like we're getting close to approaching, if not already in the seaside of this level. Since I haven't seen a cassette room, like the timing-based room, I'm going to assume we're still in B-side, but who knows. So I think I need to take a diagonal after I grab that gem. Or the dash reset. Yeah. Definitely a diagonal there. I have to be ready to dash when I hit that gem, though. Oh dear. Oh dear, this is going to be challenging. These rooms with the moving platforms that you have to, like, perfectly keep up with, but there's a very specific pace you need to maintain with them, they are hands down the most challenging rooms of this chapter thus far for me. There's only really been one other, like, oh, we almost got it. There's only really been one other room like this, and it was the one I took the longest on at the end of the last episode. They make sense, and I think they're really cool when pulled off correctly, but getting to that correct step is quite the process, I have to say. But I think I'm good to give some dialogue here while I finally get this correct. So I've kind of gone through the video creating process. There's still a bit more to it. I need to... the uploading process is its own thing, but I think I was talking about the Fairlight system. Basically, I set a limiter to limit how loud something is. I set a compressor, or rather, I set a compressor to do a similar effect, but to help reduce the volume of the loudest bits so that I can raise up the volume of the quietest bits. And then that's really all it is. And then I do find some individual audio peaks that are maybe too loud for even the compressor, so it gets really tinny, and I try to lower those manually first, so that the rest of the video doesn't have anything related to, in terms of audio balancing that is something that sets a parameter. How to explain this? It's really just I find the loud bits and make them louder, and then let the compressor do the rest. So if you ever notice my voice quality sounding kind of a little bit more, for lack of a better word, a little bit more electronic, kind of tinny, if that's probably not a word that really means anything to you, but trust me, I can hear it very clearly, and if there's a section of a video where I sound particularly loud, that's probably what's happening. The compressor is really kicking in. And my goal, I think I noticed this more in A Space for the Unbound than Celeste, because I'm not shouting nearly as much in Celeste, but particularly in A Space for the Unbound, I had to really tread the line between compressing loud audio and making quieter bits louder. Because if I compressed too much, it really did, I think, ruin some of the audio quality of my voice. But I've gotten better at seeing where that goal is. And effectively what I'm trying to maintain is everything within the -10 to -20 decibel range, with my peaks peaking ideally at 10. Occasionally, if that's a bit louder, I let it slide, but if it's consistent, then I've bumped up the audio too much and need to lower it. But beyond that, then it's just rendering the video, which takes a very long time. Supposedly, if you upload HD to YouTube, well, it definitely increases the time it takes to process the render and upload it, and have YouTube process it on their end as well. But apparently uploading in higher quality, even though DaVinci Resolver warns you that that will reduce the quality, for most non-professional recordings, it actually improves it substantially. Oh, that's another thing. When I first started these videos, I did not know anything about bitrate, and I still wouldn't say I know terribly much. But if you watch my older Celeste videos, I remember particularly Chapter 6, the Chapter 6A, when you're chasing after Battlein. Oh, the bitrate was so terrible, and oh gosh, everything in Hollow Knight has suffered from that, unfortunately. I was watching my Absolute Radiance fight videos have released recently, and oh my goodness, the quality of the video, especially when the Absolute Radiance is using any sort of particle type effect, is horrendous. It just looks so icky to look at, but thankfully I very quickly figured out how to solve that issue, and so that should be a that should be a issue that plagues only my earliest of videos. And it's weird, I wonder where this channel will be in a year, if it will still be or not, because my truest goal was simply a year's worth of content for Kiwi. I figured that would give her plenty to sleep to, considering she still watches the same Northern Lion videos over and over again, and anything from his Isaac playlist has done her well. I figure I have some good options for her, tentatively. But it really has been fun to experience games that I never really got the chance to play while I'm in between work. And it was nice to get to share it with others. Definitely Kiwi, but everyone else too. It's nice to have knowing other people are finding interest in this. But I think that's really enough about the process. Really, the next question to answer is, where do I want to go from here? What are my goals for improvement? Because I really talked about the process. I didn't talk about what I want the process to be or become, given time, effort, and further education. Most likely soft-taught for the most part, but we do have access to the Nebula streaming service, which has a lot of educational stuff on it too. There might be people on there that have a lot of DaVinci Resolve-esque tutorial and video creation type tutorial stuff. And on top of all that, there's a cavalcade of stuff already on YouTube. So there are a lot of options for what I can use to improve. Well, the first thing is I'm not anticipating sponsors. I'm not anticipating Patreon. Again, this isn't a career path for me. This is a hobby at best. And more than that, it's a gift for Kiwi. It feels disingenuous to try and monetize a gift for someone else, you know? If this ever goes somewhere, we'll talk about it, but then I can always make the argument that, well, if I'm able to pay for things Kiwi wants, then it's still a gift, right? Maybe, I don't know. That's some pretty loose logic, and I'm not sold on it. But it's an idea. And there we go. That's that stage complete. Oh, we've got an updraft now. Let's take a look at this room and see where it goes. So I think what I need to do is take this orange bubble to the right, and it'll launch me upwards into the... I can then dash upwards into the next. Take this diagonally into the right, and then maybe dash upwards out of it, and use the updraft to get me over this hump into that one. Then diagonal into the right, maybe. That might clip me there, but we'll see. And then I just do a horizontal dash, then I go straight down. And I wonder if I do I think I do an upward dash rather than a right dash, because if I go right, I think it's too close and I'll hit the spike. So go up and then fall to the right. Diagonal up and to the right, then dash left, go straight to the right, and then jump out on, probably just grab that out of the bubble, and then it looks like I'll have to do a hyper dash here. Okay, I see what you're selling. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to hyper dash out of the orange bubble, I bet. That sounds nasty. Oh, the wind is pushing the bubbles upwards. Okay, that changes everything. Okay. So I see they've made a speedrun strat here, because I can do this. I'll probably do that, because it's just a little bit faster, and honestly, maybe even more consistent. So I could probably do a diagonal down dash here, rather than the other dash, the other thing I had thought. So let's try that. Yeah. And then I just have to pull back. I see your game. I can definitely feel myself tiring out, so this will probably be the last Celeste video for today. The increase in difficulty in the stages combined with my fatigue and things of that nature, I suppose, is going to limit how much more dialogue I can manage. But here are my YouTube goals at this point. Make a year's worth of content, ideally uploading once daily. That will mean effectively January 1st, or realistically January, if we're being literal, it's January 3rd, I believe, would be 1 year from the day I started uploading daily. November 26th was the first day I uploaded altogether, I believe. Which, wow, it's a long time since then. But make a year's worth of content, and in the process of that, do what I feel I want to do to try and improve. There are going to be some limitations to that, but overall, I do think I can improve from where I currently am, especially if I'm willing to put time and effort into it. And even if it's a small amount of time and effort, it's more than I would have otherwise, and I think it's meaningful, and who knows, maybe video editing will be useful to me in the future, too. In my profession, for example. I'm sure there are employers who would see video editing, even if it's only a baseline of skill, as a marketable skill nonetheless. So, something to add to the resume, I suppose, as weird as that sounds. And beyond that, my goals are to get better at, my more minute goals, if you will, are to get better at audio balancing. Right, I should have just gone hard left on that. Okay, fair. get better at audio balancing, improve my ability to speak without using filler words like and ah. When I decide to do a more heavily edited project, make that the best damn video I've ever made for me and my standards. And if nothing else, provide Kiwi with something that will make her laugh, smile, help her fall asleep, anything of that nature, and I have achieved what I set out for. And I know I've already succeeded in that regard, but like I said, I want to do a little bit more. I'm not settling for my bare minimum. I'm settling for what I have with gradual improvement. And if I can maintain that, there's not much more else I could ask for on this channel, honestly. Alright, I need to wave dash. Oh, I almost had the wave dash motion. I was just a little too eager with the second dash. I think we've got this map cleared momentarily, though. I'm trying to think if there are any other goals I would have for this channel. There we go, another room complete. Alright, how to do this one. So, I see an updraft. I see a sigil and a sigil door with a spring on it, and I assume once I collect all sigils, that'll open. Is there anything below us? There's nothing below us. So let's start by collecting this jump juice. And then I assume I need to jump out of there. Okay, both of those will move. So maybe I'm not sure, honestly. Can I get through here if I jump like that? Maybe a bunny hop? Let's see if a bunny hop will do it. Well, too low. Fair enough. Grab the jump juice, slide down, bunny hop. Not convinced that's the right option. What if I dash through here with the double dash? And then go up. I can maybe make it back to that side? No, definitely can't. You know what? I bet it is as simple as doing another wave dash here. That's kind of been the goal. Oh, but the updraft really throws off. Oh wait, the updraft will carry me up. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's all it is. I just also need to be far back enough that I don't splat. There we go. Okay, I've got it. And then I just have to grab the double jump before it's too late. This will probably take some mental, but I'll try and talk while I'm doing it. Here we go. Let go, and then up. And there we go. Okay, maybe I didn't need to talk at all. Oh no, these platforms again. This looks different, though. This has a different vibe to it, almost. Let's see. Okay, let's figure out this room. So, I need to wave dash and then dash up into this block and have it launch me past these on-cycle stars, which you know me in cycle-based platforming. But I won't have a dash. Oh, okay, I see what I need to do. So, once I latch onto the left side of that platform, I jump over and latch onto this middle platform, grab the double jump gems, fall down, dash to the right, and then dash diagonally back up to latch onto this on the other side. And then I'll try and grab the jump gems again, maybe, by falling and dashing up and to the right. Do I need my dash for anything further? I'm going to assume that either moves up or down, so I don't think I'll need my dash for anything else, so maybe that dash is unnecessary other than to getting to that platform. Well, actually, let me just make sure I know what comes after that. So the sigil moves, and then I think it's just as simple as doing a momentum jumping, or honestly, just a dash jump will get me there if I climb the wall. So, alright, this one seems doable enough. He says as he immediately dies. Okay, so this looks doable. The cycle-based stuff is going to be my biggest downfall, as always, but I'm just going to go with it and see where it takes me. Yeah, Yeah, those stars are going to be the hardest part of this room. Absolutely going to. How many deaths will be to those stars alone? Start counting, everyone. Alright, so I want to go down here, and then dash like that. Do the gems respawn? They do not. Oh no. Okay, but okay. No, that's still very doable. I had enough space to latch. If I only latch onto the bottom half of that platform, if you will, I'm pretty confident I can still jump about to it. Okay. Still fighting cycles, which is going to be my downfall in every platformer ever. I've never had much talent for music, and particularly I've never had much talent. The issue is I can't keep a beat, I can't keep a rhythm. I don't know why. It's frustrating. I wish I was better. But my artistic skills are more in the communicative and things that are more arduous tasks, like making a collage or something that takes time. I'm good at things that take time and diligence, but aren't strictly mechanically difficult to pull off. I've never had much of a musical bone in my body, sadly. Not a single trombone to speak of. Okay, and then we go here, and then I jump around this way. Oh, but I don't have enough jump juice. Maybe I just need to be faster. Let's hope it's as simple as that. I just need to be faster. Because otherwise, I don't know how to conserve my jump here in a meaningful, useful way. Other than neutral sticking, which I refuse to do here unless absolutely necessary. Wait a second. It was a trick the whole time. I never needed to use that first platform. Okay, I've got your sauce now, game. Well, now I do. But fall down here. But wait, I won't have my dash. Okay, I didn't think about the lack of dash. Never mind, you can have your sauce back, game. I never took it in the first place. I think I figured it out, Kiwi. Maybe if I go that way. Okay. If I go that way, then I have my dash to get over the right two most platforms, and hopefully can grab the side of that magma block. And let's see if this works. It does. Woo! We did it! Okay. Anything up here? No. Alright, next room. Oh good, more stars. Well, we'll take a quick glimpse at this room and then we'll save it for next time, I think. Let's see. Oh good, I'm gonna have to fall through a whole lot of things. It's a cycle room, Kiwi, my favorite, so fall down, fall down, fall down. Well, we'll figure this out in the next episode. Kiwi, I'm still very much enjoying this chapter, although I will say that the last couple rooms have been a little bit more exhausting in terms of difficulty, and it might just be I'm on my third recording of the day. It's time to take a break. I've been at this for a good 3 hours, I guess, put between the editing and the recording itself. So, I guess, just one last summary while we attempt this room. My goals for this channel, first and foremost, bring you a smile, bring you a laugh, bring you something you find interesting to listen to, or that you didn't know about me that you enjoyed listening to. If I accomplish that for Kiwi, then this channel has succeeded in every way it could have possibly have hoped to succeed. Beyond that, if other people find the channel and find what they enjoy in this, by all means, you are very welcome here, and I hope you've enjoyed watching just as much as Kiwi. Personal goals for improving the videos, though, are going to be get better at audio balancing. When I decide to go for more edited videos, find something that looks like something I would want to show someone. Maybe practice some voice acting, learn new voices, and get better at the ones that I've discovered through A Space for the Unbound. And if people enjoy the voice acting, maybe I'll just keep going with that a little bit on this channel here and there too. And beyond that, really, it's just make better videos. And to do that, I'll learn what works, I'll learn what doesn't work, and I'm going to make a lot of bad videos by my standards in the process. But if they're still enjoyed, then they serve their purpose. And with all that said, Kiwi, though, I think this is where we're going to go ahead and end the episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.